This is Appalling News. I'm Paul Chatto. We have another dumb young thing today, though he's not young, and we don't think he's actually dumb. But what he has to say is so dumb, we felt it was appropriate. First of all, it's clear from this person's attire that he probably knits leg warmers for a living and sells them on Etsy. But let's get into it.
Everything I say about gender is influenced by my whiteness.
Let's stop right there. So this speaker is already confused. What is it about gender that needs discussing? Gender used to mean sex, but now it means the socially constructed roles of girls, women, boys, and men. And this is important to him because only the socially constructed roles are mutable, not sex. But why talk about gender influenced by his whiteness? If gender is socially constructed, then which socially constructed gender role would be off limits to him?
Which is obvious.
Oh, right. Because you're white, which we could never have guessed.
But there's an interesting second part to this.
We are still waiting for the interesting first part.
The rejections of gender and gender roles that I create and embody will still come from my whiteness, those acceptable to my constructions of self as a white person.
We get it. You're white.
I will likely uphold and encourage white beauty standards and see and more immediately accept other white rejections of gender.
We understand the deep hurt and pain you're feeling, but we have no idea what you are confessing to here. If you are referring to yourself, we're not sure you know what beauty standards are.
Essentially, even the most critical analysis of gender I have will still be white.
Okay, how many mentions of white have we actually had so far? 6. We have had 6.
And white gender rejection can and does uphold whiteness and white supremacy.
We do not know what whiteness is being upheld by white gender rejection. We're not sure what white supremacy has to do with this. As the Ku Klux Klan, I'm sure, do not shop at the same thrift shops you do.
Queer appropriation of African American vernacular English is one example of this.
We have no idea which homies he's referring to. We did not know that this was a major bone of contention in the queer community. We do understand that many African Americans are offended by Aquafina's black scent. We are just offended by Aquafina.
As is mainstream exclusion of fashion excellence in black representations of masculinity.
What exactly do you know about masculinity?
While celebrating white men for having basic hygiene as if they're revolutionaries.
Ah, now we understand. You're dating a black man who doesn't floss, and you're nervous about telling him.
Of course, that's not to say we can't attempt to take another viewpoint.
Perhaps it would have been helpful to actually have started with a viewpoint.
But it's still going to be a fundamentally white perspective. Even this is a white perspective. It's literally the only one I can give you.
The only thing that is literally true is that there is no such thing as white perspective. A white person from Finland will have a different perspective from a white person born in Japan. We think what you are trying to say is me, as in yourself or whatever pronoun you've picked. You are feeling guilty about something, and you're blaming it on whiteness. Granted, you are as white as someone could be.
So if you want to learn how other people construct and deconstruct gender, you need to learn it from someone who doesn't look like me.
In this, we agree. We have learned nothing from you. You have taken college classes, and you've remembered the words, just not the order they should go in. In conclusion, it's clear that this individual is a caring person who has issues surrounding his own whiteness. But that's just a wild guess. This has been Appalling News, and that's the way it is.